Okay, my friends, it's Edward Shepard, and I'm here to show you how it is that I grade things using my wiki. So, first off, here's my little wiki, virtualacademy.us. It's my site. Go to /CAVA wiki and you're there. You'll need to have me set up an account for you if you want access. Let's say that I'm grading. I'm going to search for this. A lab for Chem 302 BX. And let's say that that is the Unit 2 lab. So I can search for that. And here are my grading notes for this lab. Okay. Now, one of the things I have is sometimes students give me the data table. I don't want that, so that's the first thing that I can copy and paste in here. But usually I'll start by copying and pasting what I call the score template. So I'm going to go into this little application. We'll pretend that this is the grading window that we use. And one thing that you'll notice, because I'm using this program, it's lost the hyperlinks that are here. But when you paste this into the web browser when you're grading, those stay there. So that's a really cool feature of using a website to hold the grading notes that you use, because you can copy and paste these hyperlinks, which is very helpful. Okay, and that's why I switched over from using a plain text editor like this one to using my wiki. Plus, it's a little easier to have other people use it as well. Alright, so what I'll do is after I put in the score template, I go down to the first question here, and you can see this section. I've written down all the topics they have to hit. Now for this first question, they only have to hit one point. It's just a weird question that way. So they pretty much either get it or they don't. However, I do have this score where they give me an answer, but they got one detail wrong. So let's say that that's the case. When I look at that question, I go to the document. Let's say that this is the document here. I look at question 1 and I decide that I want to give her this note. So I copy this, go to my work log, I paste it in. There we go. Now that was worth 7 points. She got a -4, so that's a +3. Okay. There's also a section for if you had a perfect answer. I could just copy and paste this right in here. Okay, so now we go down to question 2. First section is what if there's no answer at all. You can always tell that there's no answer right away because it's a big blank spot. So I would just copy and paste all of this in there, and I know that that student would get 0 points. But so let's say that I have an answer. I'd skip down to this next section. Maybe she does this right, so I skip down to the next one. Take a look at her work, and she gets all the points here, and maybe she gets all the points for this one. So now I've made it all the way down to the bottom. I did not take away any points, so we must have a perfect answer. So I'll copy this, and I'll replace question 2 with this one, and there we go, +7 points. Okay, one more question to go through. So we're working with question 3. We'd go and we'd see, is there no answer? Well, no, there's an answer here, right? Okay, so we're not going to use this one. I would also use this if the answer is just so bad that it's like they're not even answering the question. Okay, so I have these 3 points that I want students to make clear. This is just the way I grade this question. 2 points each for each of them. In fact, I could edit this so that we know that it's worth 2 points here. If I click on edit, I could put in 2 points, and that would be a good idea just because it would make it clear how many points each is worth, right? So now it's there. I know the question's worth 6. This little point is worth 2 points, and let's say that she gets this, but she doesn't quite make this point. So would copy this note, and I would go back and I would paste this in. Okay, now what if I have something new that I'm going to either take a point away from, or let's say I'm just going to make a note. So I want to write in her work log, note, let's see, dissolving is caused by more collisions, not fewer, right? Just made that up. Now I might have to use this again when I'm grading. So what I can do is I can copy this note that I've made. I can go back and I can hit edit for this section, and I can paste in the note and save this. Now I might also make this bold so that the word note stands out. Save the page, and now it's in here. So if I ever need to use this, I can go back, it's there, and I'll just collect all these notes and comments and everything. I can just collect as many as I want and use them whenever I want to. So I'm going to take this one out because I don't anticipate ever having to use this one. Save the page. Okay, and now we've reached the end of grading. So what I can do here is I can, okay, so this one was worth 6 points minus 2, so 4 points. So I add them up, 4, 7, and 3. That's 14 points. So in the grading application there, in the grading website, I'd put in 14 points. And then I could just save this. Alright, now when I go back here, I've got this link. It says grade another. What this does is this takes me all the way back up to the score template, and I'm ready to start again with the next one. Let me show you the one other thing I had down here. I have this section that I call the Bonehead File, and it used to be a separate file. And what I do here is I collect some of the really weird, strange, and dumb things that students write, because sometimes these are misconceptions that other students have and would actually be good for other students to see. Maybe not this semester, maybe next semester, so that someone doesn't see their own text. But one of the benefits here is that you have something that's written in the student's own words. And it may be something that you never would have thought someone might come up with this idea. Okay, like for this one, I've seen this a couple times now. We're supposed to say what the unknowns were. The unknowns were solute for beaker A and solute for, well, yeah. You might as well write the unknowns were unknown for beaker A and unknown for beaker B. You're supposed to tell me what solute this was and what solute this was. So yeah, this is something that I can go back into the walkthroughs that I make for the lab, and I can point out this. In fact, I could put this quote in, and then next semester students will see that and think, well, that's silly, I'd better not do that when I make the lab. Okay, so that's the way it works. If you have access to this, of course you can add your own comments and everything, but that's working pretty well for me. And one of the really strong points is that you do copy over the hyperlinks. Alright, so I have a link to my walkthrough where I show students how to do this lab, and I also have a link to a forum that I made where students can ask questions about it.